On the coordinate plane, vertex A for triangle ABC is located at 6, 4. Triangle ABC is dilated by a scale factor of 0.5 with the center of dilation at the origin. The resulting image is triangle A prime, B prime, and C prime. What are the coordinates of vertex A? So what I know is that triangle ABC is dilated by a scale factor of 0.5, and I know that we are looking for vertex A, which is located at 6, 4. So what I would do is I would do 6. So what I know is that what I can do is I can do 6 times 0.5, or I can do 6 divided by 2, but in this case I'll do 6 times 0.5, which is going to be 3, and I can do 4 times 0.5, which is obviously going to be 2, and that gives me 3 comma 2. And so looking at all the options, I see that A is the answer that I have gotten, and so that's how I got my answer. Rectangle FGHJ shown below is translated 6 units right and 1 unit up to produce rectangle F prime, G prime, H prime, and J prime. Which statement about the side lengths of rectangle F prime, G prime, H prime, and J prime is true? So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at the side lengths that we're trying to find out, and I see in my multiple choice questions that I'm looking for F prime and G prime. Let me just circle them. And so now what I need to do is I need to move the rectangle 6 units to the right, which I'm gonna start at G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1 unit up. That's gonna leave me with G prime, and I'm gonna erase the access so I don't get confused. And then we're gonna keep doing the same with F1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1 unit up. It's gonna leave me with F prime, and then erase the extra, and then we're gonna do H1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1 unit up, H prime, erase, and then we're gonna do J, which is the last one obviously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1 unit up. Almost made a mistake there, and that's gonna leave me with J prime. And now I can finally connect the dots, which is just going to leave me with the same rectangle, just in a different position. And now we're going to count the side lengths of F and G. So we're going to put F and G prime. And so then we're going to count it, which is 1, 2, and 3 units. So that means F and G prime equals 3 units. And G and H prime is going to equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is 5 units that I have with all of them. And now I'm gonna look at my multiple choice questions, and obviously I can see that question A matches with the answers that I have gotten. So my answer is gonna be question A. Which sequence of transformation takes triangle A to its image triangle B? So one thing I noticed is that for triangle A, the coordinates on the x-axis are -9 and -3. And like for triangle B, it's 9 and 3. So it's basically the same thing. And so the only difference is that on the y-axis, for A, it's on 4 over here, and for B, it's at the coordinate 2. And so what I can do is I can move triangle A down 2 units, which would match it, and then I can reflect it over the y-axis so it can match. And if we look at the answers, A, reflection over the x-axis, and translation 2 units down, the only problem we have is that we're not reflecting over the x-axis, because that means we would be reflecting it down. So that's not one of our answers. And if we look at B, reflection over the y-axis and translation 2 units down, which is what I did earlier, which results me to get answer B. The vertices of a triangle are located at F, -4, -2, G, 2, 2, and H, 0, -4. A sequence of transformations to triangle FGH results in triangle F prime, G prime, and H prime as shown below. Which sequence of transformations to triangle FGH results to triangle F prime, G prime, and H prime? The first thing I would do is I would mark the triangle FGH, which over here says -4 and -2, which is right over here, and 2, 2 right over here, and 0, -4. And if we draw it out, it's our triangle. And the question that we're looking for is which sequence of transformations to triangle FGH results into triangle F prime, G prime, and H prime. So if we look at FGH, it looks like compared to F prime, H prime, and G prime, it looks like it's getting smaller. So if we look at the answers over here, it says dilation by 2, which we're not increasing the sides, it's decreasing. So the answers cannot be A or B. And if we look at C and D, A, 90-degree counterclockwise rotation about the origin, then a dilation by a scale factor of half with a center of dilation at the origin. So what I can see is that, what I know is that if we move the triangle at a counterclockwise, it'll go to the left, and if we do it clockwise, it'll go to the right. And it looks like for F prime, G prime, and H prime, it's kind of going to the right. It's pointing to the right. So the answer would not be C, because counterclockwise is to the left. So I would get answer D for number 4.
Number 5. Which equation represents the lines shown on the coordinate grid below? Based on looking at this coordinate grid, I see 2 points, 5 and 0, and 0 and -2. Based on what I've been taught in class by my teachers, I know I can find the slope using these 2 coordinate points. So how I find the slope is doing x1, y1, and x2, y2. I'm going to use number 5 and 0 as my first point, and 0 and -2 my second point. So we plug them in, these points, and after we plug them in, we subtract the y's with the y's and the x with the x. So -2 minus 0 and 0 minus 5. Based on using a calculator, we have -2 minus 0, which gives us -2, and 0 minus 5, which gives us -5. A negative and a negative makes a positive, so our slope will be 2/5. We're not done yet. We need to find the y-intercept. The easiest way with this equation to find the y-intercept is look at the 2 coordinate points. If it has a 0, like this one, this coordinate point, 0 and -2, we could automatically use -2 as our y-intercept. So my equation will be y equals 2/5 x minus 2. Based on these 4 answers, A, B, C, and D, I could tell that we could take out D and B because they have y-intercept at -5. I could take out C because the slope is a -2/5, so we have a positive 2/5. So this leads my answer to A.
Two friends work at different companies, P and S. Both companies use the number of hours that an employee works to calculate that employee's vacation hours. The relationship between the number of hours worked at the number of vacation hours for employees at each company is shown in the table and graph respectively. Which statement describes the difference in each friend's vacation hours if both work 2,080 hours? Now first, I want to find the ratio between the vacation hours and work hours for company P. So we're going to use these numbers. We're going to do vacation and work hours, which is 0.8 minus 0.4 and 20 minus 10, which is going to give us 0.4 over 10. And to find the common denominator for the vacation hours, we're going to do 0.4 over 10 times 208, which is going to give us 83.2. And for 10, it's just going to be 2080. We just add the 0 at the end. And for company S, we're going to do 100 work hours over 6 vacation hours, which is going to be 6 over 100. And to find the common denominator again for company S, we're going to do 6 over 100 times 20.8. And that's going to be 124.8. And for the 100, it's just going to turn into 2080 like above in the other one. And so if we do 124 minus 83.2, which is going to be 124.8 minus 83.2, it's going to equal 41.6. And if we look at the answers below, for number A, it says the friend at company S will have about 42 more vacation hours than the friend at company P. And if we look at the others, I don't find any other answer closer than answer A. So we're just going to mark those out. And since 41.6 isn't exactly 42, we're just going to do this with the equal sign, 42. And so then that's how I get my answer A. A line contains the points 4, 2 and 0, -1. What is the equation of the line? So to find the equation of the line, we first have to find the slope. So what we're going to do is we're going to do y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1. And right here, x1 and y1 and x2 and y2, which is -1 minus 2 and 0 minus 4, which is going to be -3 over -4, or in simpler terms, it's going to be 3 over 4. And now, since we have the slope, we have to find the y-intercept. So to do that, we need to use one of the y and x coordinates. So I'm going to use this one. So we're going to do 2 equals 3/4 times 4 plus b, which we're going to use a calculator for because I can't do that in my mind. So 3/4 times 4 is going to equal 3. So 2 equals 3 plus b. And we're going to subtract 3 from both sides, which is going to give us -1 equals b. So now, since we have all of our, since we have the y and the slope, now we just put them together. So it's y equals 3/4 x minus 1, which is, if we look at all the answers, going to be B. What is the solution to the equation shown below? The equation is 2 over 3x plus 5 equals 1. Now, some might find this question a little difficult, but it's not really that hard if you think about it. So personally, what I do is just I grab, an answer from the multiple choice. So for example, let's just use -6. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply -6 by 2/3 x. So 2/3 times -6, which we're going to use the calculator for. 2/3 times -6, which gives us negative 4. And so then we use that -4 and continue it in the equation. So -4 plus 5 equals 1, which is obviously what is shown in the equation. And so then that means the only possible solution is answer A, which is -6.
Question 9. Function 1 is defined by the equation y equals 3/4 x plus 1, and function 2 is represented by the graph below. My first step is to find the equation for function 2, which is the graph. So I'll be doing rise over run. So we have starts at -3. Our y-intercept will be -3. We're missing something for the slope. So do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So based on using rise over run, our slope would be 5/8. And this is for the second equation. For the first one, the equation is y equals 3/4 x plus 1. Based on they have different y-intercepts and different slopes. What I would do, in my opinion, is divide the y-intercepts. So 5 divided by 8 gives me 0.625. And 3/4 gives me 0.75. So based on number one's y-intercept number one slope has function 1 slope is greater than functions 2. Based on these 4 questions, answers A, B, C, and D, we have A. Function 1 has the greater y-intercept. A. Function 1 has the greater rate of change and the greater y-intercept. B. Function 2 has the greater rate of change and the greater y-intercept. C. Function 1 has the greater rate of change and function 2 has the greater y-intercept. D. Function 2 has the greater rate of change and function 1 has the greater y-intercept. Well, based on these two equations, I know that function 1 has a greater y-intercept. And function 1 also has a greater slope. So looking at these questions, I could determine that B would not be the answer because function 2 doesn't have a greater rate of change. Function 1 has a greater rate of change, but function 2 does not have a greater y-intercept, so it can't be C. We have two options, A or D. Function 2 has a greater rate of change, and function 1 has a greater y-intercept. That's true. Function 1 does have a greater y-intercept, but the rate of change for question number 2 is least, so our answer is A.
Mr. Thompson is buying 2 types of gift cards to give as prizes to employees at a company meeting. He will buy restaurant gift cards that each cost $50. He will also buy movie theater gift cards that each cost $20. He has $450 to buy a total of 15 gift cards. How many of each type of gift card can Mr. Thompson buy? Now, personally, the easiest way I can answer this is by looking at the answers that are given below. So if we look at answer A, it says he can buy get 5 restaurant gift cards and 10 movie theater gift cards. And if we do 50 times 5, it's basically like 5 times 5, and then you add the 0 at the end. So it's going to be 250. And if we do 20 times 10, it's going to equal 200. And what we're looking for is that if it meets the budget that he's going for. And so if we add 250 plus 200, it's going to be 450. And it meets the amount of gift cards he wants to buy and the amount of money he's trying to spend. So answer A would be the correct answer. How was your experience doing this tutorial video? My experience doing this tutorial video was good because I'm helping out my school with the little time I have left. I have there's like 2 months left into the school year, so it feels good helping my school out with videos like these. I learned a lot. Something I learned from doing these tutorial videos is how to solve problems in a manner where you can teach it to anybody. Thanks to the help of Mr. Morris, he was able to teach me in like a manner that helps other people understand how to solve the problem, no matter what age they are. They can be the teacher, it can be, a 4-year-old child, or, so he definitely helped me a lot during this tutorial video, and I'm thankful for that. I would recommend this experience to other students if they are, looking forward to doing like video projects in the future, like in high school, because being on camera isn't easy. And so doing these like short tutorials, it can help you and build your confidence, so like you're not nervous on camera much. And so I would recommend it to those students only. Obviously not everybody wants to be on video, so everybody has their own opinions. How I can make other students understand the math differently next time is probably make my work more neater, because in the video, I guess I kind of get nervous, and since I'm using like pencil, it kind of looks a little sloppy. So maybe next time I can write it a little bit more neater, and maybe like label the things that I'm writing, like, oh, this is work hours A, work hours B, so I can definitely do that next time. While reflecting these 4 previous questions, it helped deepen my thinking, because when talking about these questions, you want to get deep, and sometimes you want to get a little personal, so you can relate with the people and make them understand. Yeah, that's how these 4 previous questions helped my thinking.